Eastside Dave Star Wars Podcast. Yaddle Chattel. My official Yaddle Chattel Star Wars name, henceforward, for every Yaddle Chattel episode you will ever hear for the rest of your lives, my Yaddle Chattel name is Darth David. That's right. Eastside Dave. You can call me Dave McDonald, but for the purposes of Yaddle Chattel, I am Darth David. And with me is my co-host, and henceforth, he will be known as Jedi Jared.
Hello, Darth David. How are you today?
Jedi Jared, I am doing fantastic. Yaddle Chattel continues to light it up. And actually, the reason why is I have to change my name is because we got some great Yaddle Chattel feedback.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to lead off the show with some of this Yaddle Chattel feedback because, well, quite frankly, Jared, it was a good point. Michael Gazy said, Dave, Jared's the Sith? He says, seems like projection, Dogsy. Sorry, but your lightsaber is red. Then I thought about what Michael Gazy was saying. And my initial reply, I didn't hit send when I wrote it, but my initial reply to Michael Gazy was, fuck you, Michael! Fuck you, man! Fuck it off!
Well, that sounds like something Kylo Ren would do.
That's the point. After I quickly gauged my response and how inappropriate it was and how much I was filled with rage, I said, you know what, Michael? Excellent point. So give Michael Gazy 5 points right off the bat because he's right. Let's be honest. If there's a Sith on this show, it's me. If there's a Jedi, it's you. Plus, if we do it this way, we got awesome alliteration, my friend, which in itself is awesome alliteration because it's a double A thing. But I'm talking about Darth David, double D, which is also my cup size. Hi.
Hey now.
And Jedi Jared, double J, which is like Jeff Jarrett, the wrestler. If you're into WWE 1995 and you like a guy with a country music gimmick, that's Jim.
Don't piss me off, David.
Now, if you could hear in my voice, I'm slightly hoarse. Don't worry, I'm just fine. But last night, Jared,
yes, David.
Jedi Jared, speaking of wrestling, I dominated, or at least I tried to dominate Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. He's a WWE Hall of Famer and wrestling legend, and we were sanctioned to do a bodybuilding pose down in which we had to pose and then let the audience decide who had the best muscles.
Okay, and what'd they decide?
Well, they never got around to deciding it because when Tony was doing his posing, he had his back towards turned to me. And by the way, you can see this video on YouTube, the same channel, Eastside Dave TV, where you get your Yaddle Chattel. You can also see the video. Anyway, when he had his back turned to me,
I'm listening.
I maintain I accidentally slipped and fell into Tony Atlas. And in order to break my fall, I had to put up my left forearm into Mr. USA's back. People accused me of hitting Tony when he turned his back to me. That wasn't the case. It was an accidental slip.
It sounds like you were just trying to break your fall.
Thank you! Jesus Christ! It's fucking hard being a Sith Lord these days! Everyone's on your back, criticizing you.
Giving you a lot of crap and a lot of guff, isn't that right?
So anyway, my point is, after I protested, I was yelling and screaming at the audience. Such, witty, intelligent things as, shut up! That's what I was screaming at the audience. Stuff like, shut up and shut your mouth and you're stupid. There's this mom and her son who sit front row to every single wrestling event. This is in Nutley, New Jersey, North Jersey. And every single event. It happened last night too. I keep hearing, you stupid loser! You suck, you stupid loser! There was even
I've been to those events before for you to be your videographer. I know who you're talking about.
But I got my first Eastside Dave Sucks chant.
Oh, wow.
Arena-wide chant, and was sold out.
Wow.
250 people strong. And
Chanting Eastside
Dave Sucks. So they're right. So yes,
you are
I'm
the bad
feeling
guy.
I'm feeling very Sith-ish. I am the bad guy in wrestling.
the heel.
And why should I not be the bad guy in Yaddle Chattel? I should be. I sometimes smoke a little doobie because it's legal in New Jersey. Don't judge me, you motherfuckers. And I go back and I listen to Yaddle Chattel. And especially when I'm high, it just sounds like I'm yelling at Jared for a half an hour.
Well,
I'm very Sithish. I mean, everything Michael said is right. I can't believe it took Michael to clarify this, but he's 100% right. Michael, give yourself another 5 points. Seriously.
Well, to your point, let's do a little high chat then. A little pot talk, if you will.
Okay.
So, I was thinking about this recently. And I know I like to rag on The Last Jedi a lot. Mostly the plot and the writing.
Sure. What was it? Was it episode 1 of Yaddle?
Yes,
I had my big Last Jedi. Well, you shit on it. I said, here's a way to make it better. If you want to hear that, just go check out Yaddle Chattel 1, the premiere of Yaddle Chattel. We can't go back and do it right now. Go ahead.
But I think the one thing that Rian Johnson got right was the fact that the Jedi had to end. And I think that this delves into what exactly does it mean to bring balance to the Force. So what does it mean to you, David, to bring balance to the Force?
Oh, this is a good question. To me, bringing balance to the Force means Jedi and Sith, in that constant struggle, yin and yang. See, I never thought that the Jedi could basically eliminate the Sith. Or how about this? Just eliminate dark side of the Force in general. Because you need that. If everyone is always happy at times, then there is no joy. You know what I mean? There is that, the old, everything is relative to something else type of philosophy. And I think you need darkness in order to have the light.
I think that the thing that he got right is typically when the Jedi have always talked about bringing balance to the Force is they always believe that the good guy should win. And I think that that's a very narcissistic thing if you're all about like very much Zen monkish.
That's a good point. That's an interesting point.
You always, and I think this is what has always led to the Sith always overtaking the Jedi eventually. Like what happened at the end of episode 3 is that they get their head so far up their ass, they never see the forest for the trees, and they got had by the Emperor.
Okay.
So I think that Luke was 100% right in that regard, that the Jedi had to end. I don't know because they never actually fleshed any of it out, but I think what Luke was going towards was you have to embrace the dark part in you in order for there to be real balance. You can't just, if you try to push all of those emotions and stuff like that out, then you end up with the chosen one going down the dark side path.
That's a good point. All right.
And if you don't allow certain things to be, if you don't temper your emotions, if you allow your emotions to control you, then
you don't know.
You'll self-destruct.
Okay. Yeah. Now remember when the trailer for The Last Jedi came out, and they showed that part of Luke Skywalker saying, the Jedi must end.
Yes.
And a lot of people thought that was going to mean that there was going to be a new Jedi Order. A lot of people were theorizing there was going to be a gray Jedi, a gray order where you could be a Jedi but have passion.
Because that was kind of what Lucas had inferred in his original treatment of like the sequel trilogy, was there was supposed to be like a middle ground between the light and the dark.
Right.
And what was I going to say? Then you had this new order, the Knights of Ren, which I guess were supposed to replace the Sith in the New Republic, considering that
I just saw more as Kylo Ren's bodyguards.
But that was another issue that I had with.
Yeah, they didn't capitalize that. That was another polishing the Kyber crystal moment, where they should have had that entire council of Sith. I mean, that entire council of those Knights of Ren should have been everywhere.
Oh, absolutely, and they should have had like different knights. Like
they should have been stalking Rey. Yeah, Kylo Ren, once he learns that Rey is out there, he should have had that team as a commando unit out to, going to take out Rey. And think about this. How awesome would that be if then in the second, in Last Jedi, still Rey with Luke on Ahch-To, and here come Knights of Ren,
And they're all-
some kind of
oh,
Navy
yeah.
SEAL thing, and like, trying to take out Luke and Rey, and Luke and Rey have like barricaded themselves and like maybe like quickly made a stone temple, and we have like a Navy, evil Navy Team SEAL, SEAL Team 6 oh my God, that would be phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely, like an assault, and the two of them have to dispatch them instead of...
Exactly. Two of them basically have to hold down this compound while these, 12 Knights of Ren guys try and infiltrate and kill them. I think that would be a very cool part.
That would be a very cool part,
Shit.
too.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
But, like, they don't even resolve it really in The Rise of Skywalker exactly why they call themselves Skywalker. Like...
With Rey?
With Rey.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, this is what we're calling ourselves now. We're calling ourselves Skywalker. I'm Rey Skywalker. So it's just like, I am Spartacus type of moment, if you will. But I feel like they had a great opportunity to flesh out why Luke is the last Jedi, why the Jedi should end, and it just doesn't go anywhere.
All right.
And, like, I feel like he was on the right path, because Star Wars is supposed to be like a lot of, the Jungian archetypes and dealing with a lot of these, the whole circle and cycle of...
All right, I got your point. I got
So-
your fucking point.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now, we're not here to bash the sequels constantly. That's your thing.
That's my thing.
I like plenty of elements of the sequel trilogy. I like The Force Awakens. I told you. I like Episode
it.
8. I thought the Luke shouldn't have died. Episode 9, I enjoyed the Emperor coming back. There were plenty of highlights for me in those. One of the highlights is Kylo Ren. Specifically, Kylo Ren in Episode 7, and I'll say 8. And here's why.
Okay.
Kylo Ren is the most original, perhaps, Sith Lord / let's say dark side user that we see in Star Wars live action.
How so?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question. How so? Piece of shit. You piece of motherfucking shit. Jedi Jared thinks you're gonna stump Darth David with a how so? You think I was just gonna put up some grandiose statement and not give some backing knowledge? Jedi Jared! Darth David always has some fucking backing knowledge! So here it is. Darth Vader.
Yes. What about Darth Vader?
Palpatine. Darth Maul. Dooku. These guys are what? Sith Lords? Are they?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing that they are is always under control. I'm not talking Anakin Skywalker. Listen to what I'm saying. Darth Vader, Palpatine, Dooku, and Maul, as Sith Lords, there is an element of authority, but also control.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, an element of never let him see you sweat. An element of, I've got all my shit together at all times, even if I don't.
Yeah, there was no manic moment. Like, they never had any manic moments.
Thank you.
Which is strange, because their whole thing is release the emotions and allow your emotions to consume
Maybe
you.
by killing lots of people, it keeps them emotionally under control in some sick way.
I guess.
But here's my point. Kylo Ren, shit goes haywire, takes out his goddamn lightsaber and starts fucking up the whole starship. He throws temper tantrums. He gets nuts. He brings the guy out. He starts screaming. He's a what girl? He starts going crazy. Kylo Ren has zero impulse control.
Oh, he's like Jim Cramer.
Like, he is bonkers. He unravels very, very quickly. And as a result, though, I actually found it to be a captivating dark side user. One of my favorite characters, because we don't get to see a Sith Lord like that or dark side user just freak the fuck out. They're always in control.
They're cold.
Cold and specific, cold-hearted, and they're usually focused and dialed in, yes, on evil, but that focus and dialed in type of attitude Yeah. Makes them always in charge of their emotions. Whereas Kylo Ren has zero control of his emotions.
Oh, he's always ready to just go.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
So as a result, Kylo Ren may be the most unique Sith/dark side user in Star Wars live action. Now, if you're going to give me Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that, which I watch, by the way, Star Wars fans and yaddle chattel heads, and don't think for a second that we won't be giving you some Clone Wars and some Rebels talk as well, because we will be.
I just finished season 1 of Clone Wars.
Good.
And I started season 2.
Before you give me your Clone Wars,
Okay.
what do you think about Kylo Ren?
I think you're 100% right. Like, I agree with you. And I think a lot of the criticism that he got, I think, was, oh, he's being emo. He's a big baby. I'm like,
That's not, no, he's not being emo. He's not fucking listening to Third Eye Blind or whatever the fuck. Like, he's not being emo. What? Just because he had his little bit slightly longer hair?
No.
People had hair like that in the 70s anyway.
I think that, and I think they completely missed the point, is that the Sith should be always angry. Like,
Yeah.
they should be throwing temper tantrums. Like, it would have been cooler to see Vader do that a little more often.
So I'm okay with Vader being Vader, but at the same time, Palpatine. So the first guy we ever saw, 1977, Vader. Then we heard about the Emperor in A New Hope, but we didn't see him. And then we see Palpatine in Empire on the hologram, and then Jedi, and again, cold, calculated. Then we see Dooku. Then we see Darth Maul, cold, calculated. Then we see Dooku, cold, calculated. It's like everything about them is neat, even.
Yes.
Look at Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Look at his hair. His lightsaber is all fucking, raw and weird and jaggedy because it is the same thing as his emotional state. And even his hair is a little bit crazy and out of control. Even his mask.
They said they did that on purpose, was because of the hilt that he has,
Yeah.
and that it's supposed to be like the kyber crystal he had was damaged, and it was supposed to be reflective of how damaged a Sith Lord or a Knight of Ren he was supposed to be.
All right, I can see that, but I'm taking it up a notch. I'm taking it that his lightsaber is raw
Yes.
to suit his raw emotional states.
And I would have actually liked to have seen him flip out a lot more.
Kylo Ren?
Yeah,
I enjoyed his flip outs in episode 7. I agree with you. He didn't flip out a couple times in episode 8. Remember at the end where he yells at the, I want everyone to shoot, Luke Skywalker. Everyone to shoot him! All that kind of thing. Remember?
I agree, but I think that if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
Do you think they should have changed? In episode 9, did you agree with the call of him turning to the light side and becoming Ben Solo again?
I thought they should have done that in episode 8.
Yeah. It was a little quick. It happened at the end a little bit fast.
I think that there wasn't really so much of a there wasn't a transition, and that's
Yeah, I know.
and that's part of like the big beef with The Last Jedi is that like
They have some holes to fill, which they should with Disney Plus. They could. You can offer Adam Driver a shit ton of money and say, we're just going to do some Kylo Ren stuff and try to fill in as many holes of the sequel trilogy as we can. Why not?
I don't know.
Because it's a great character. And my point of this topic was Disney, Lucasfilm, forget about what Jedi Jared is saying. This is Darth David talking. And I am the supreme ruler of the galaxy. I want you to make a Kylo Ren series and fill in some of these gaps and holes, please.
Well, they may do that. They're gonna see how well Obi-Wan then.
Obi-Wan's going to be gangbusters, brother.
And then they've got I think is Bryce Dallas Howard actually show running the Ahsoka series?
Yes. Bryce Dallas Howard is in charge of Ahsoka. Deborah Chow's in charge of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And they're both going to do great jobs.
yeah.
So the third episode of The Mandalorian Season 1 was Deborah Chow. And it remains one of my favorite episodes visually. For instance, when Mando's down there and it was very first person, stormtroopers coming out of the side of the hallway, this and that, first person. Kind of,
That's when he meets.
What's that Keanu Reeves movie that everyone loves where he just goes around shooting people?
Matrix?
Not the fucking Matrix! I know the goddamn name of the Matrix!
John Wick.
John Wick. It was very like John Wick-ish. You know, just following John Wick, how he like walks through a club and ends up shooting like 80 bad guys.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the movie.
That is the whole movie, right? Dude, episode 3 of season 1 is very much a John Wick part of The Mandalorian, and I loved it. So I think she'll do a great job. Jared, we have another question.
Okay.
From another Yal Channelhead.
Let's go for it.
Davey Mack, did you ever play Knights of the... This is from DRV13. Who says, Davey Mack, did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic? It's the best Star Wars story ever. What are your thoughts? Also, what are your thoughts on the Ewok movies? 2 separate questions. What do you...
Well, I personally never played Coder.
I will just say right now, I never play the Knights of the Old Republic games. And the reason why is I do play Star Wars games. I tend to stick with your Battlefronts or stuff like that. I like games where there's action. I'm not a big guy with lots of talking.
It's a turn-based RPG.
And I don't do that. I don't do RPG. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Role-playing game.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we've established that because I had no clue.
I'm not 100% sure if it was actually available on the PS2. I know it was available on the Xbox because I watched a friend of mine play it, and I had a PS2, not an Xbox. I suppose now with an Xbox One, if they offered that, I may try it out. I've heard nothing but good things about Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. And I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done anything really with like going back, say, 5, 6.
Oh my God, we all are.
So
I mean, you're talking about in terms of a show or a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does seem like they're missing an opportunity to do like, yeah, yes, I agree with you. Go 500 years. Just go 500 years and tell it from a middle-aged or even young Yoda. Boom. Because Star Wars fans need to have 1 or 2 anchors and connections. You even see them pop up in Mandalorian. But yes, you could go 800 years in the past and have a young Yoda.
I think.
Oh, by the way, since we brought up Yoda, don't think for a second that I don't know, that you fathered that child Grogu and you fathered her with Yaddle. And just because it's Yaddle Channel, we give her a shout out 1 per episode. Hey, honey, Yaddle, if you're listening, how are you? Has Yoda paid you any alimony yet? Huh? Yoda give you any child support for that Grogu? That's why she had to ship Grogu over to Mando. Yoda doesn't cut any checks. Yaddle, I'm with you in heart, spirit, and soul. All right, go ahead.
Oh, well, I don't even know where to go after that.
Okay, well, fine. Because fine. Lemmy Wilkins is our third.
No. What was the other question was about the Ewoks movie.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The Ewoks movie I saw as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
And remember thinking, why is Wilford Brimley in this?
Yeah.
Why is that old man who I see in the oatmeal commercials in this?
He kind of played like the Grizzly Adams of Endor. Was that what he was supposed to be
like?
Well,
yeah. It wasn't very good. What can I tell you? Even as a kid, when I was Star Wars, I was a Star Wars freak. And even as a kid, I was like,
Well, that was the second one with Wilford Brimley. The first one was like, they fought a giant spider.
Right. I have a vague memory of that.
Like, they had rescued these kids.
Yeah.
And their parents, had gotten captured by...
Oh, right.
A giant spider.
Yeah.
So, like, the Ewoks are, like, throwing rocks and sticks
at
the giant stuff.
It's terrible. And to answer your question, DRV, it sucked.
And the second one had, like, magic. There was, like, some witch or...
It was embarrassing.
It was
okay, we don't talk about that shit.
It was weird.
Let's go to Lemmy, who says, quick question. Did Rian Johnson, well, we just discussed this, but so very quickly, Jared, give us a yes or no on this one. Did Rian Johnson mess up by making Luke a Padme type or... Padme type, or did fans incorrectly assume Luke wouldn't age into a bitter old queen? He's got hashtag Yaddle Chattel, hashtag Yadmen, hashtag Power Converters, hashtag Tachi.
I like Yadmen. I like Yadmen.
Oh, a hashtag Yad TV. So, what do you think?
Well, no, I think that he was right in making him a bitter old queen.
Padme from Kill Bill.
Well, Padme that was a character he had lifted from other shows.
Oh, okay. From samurai stuff?
From like all the old school kung fu chops up.
All right, fair enough.
He's kind of like... He's actually a bad guy in a bunch of these movies.
Okay.
But No, I think he was right because that's kind of the point that I was getting at was that Luke must have read all the books and seen this battle go on and on and on for millennia. And he was like, this is just fucking stupid.
Here's the bottom line. Look, they probably outthought themselves to have Luke stranded on an island because they could never wrap their heads around the fact that why is there a battle going on? Why does there seem to be an ongoing war? And there's no Luke Skywalker. That was a choice that they made themselves, and they never came up with anything totally good. I know what he's saying. Now, one thing I'd say to Lemmy Wilkins is this. Fans did not incorrectly assume Luke would age gracefully because we had heard for years from George Lucas that he wanted Luke Skywalker to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi type for a future Jedi.
Well, I think that's what a lot of people also wanted to see in the sequel trilogy was like a new Jedi Order.
Okay, yeah.
Like
well, that's
Luke
what Rey
training Jedis. Right. Like, there's a bunch more Jedis going.
I hear you. Listen, listen to the Yaddle Chattel episode 1 premiere of Yaddle Chattel from my take.
It's very,
because you would have gotten new Jedi Order with my thing. Now, my thing would have been with the standalones after the sequel, but you know what I'm saying.
No, absolutely.
Jared,
yes,
we have to finish up.
Okay.
And we've got one last thing. No, actually, best toy. Best Star Wars toy. 2 topics left. Best Star Wars toy. For me, it's not even close. Millennium Falcon. Boom, boom, boom. First of all, the original Millennium Falcon, huge. I fucking loved it. It was massive. It was the size of like a microwave, for Christ's sakes. Then you could take off the top of it, and the interior of the Falcon was totally laid out, complete with space chessboard.
Oh, wow.
Yes! And you could put the guys in the inside of the Millennium Falcon, put them on the bench, have a cup of coffee, Chewie take a nap. Or you could put them in the cockpit because the cockpit opened up too.
Oh wow, that's
right. I mean, the Millennium. So it was appropriate for your action figures who you could put in there, and at the same time, it looked great on the outside, great on the inside. Shit! Not only is it the greatest Star Wars toy of all time, I might throw it up there as one of the great toys ever. That's my favorite Star Wars toy. I'm sticking to it. What's yours?
Do you count video games as toys?
No!
Okay. Well then, my favorite Star Wars toy has to be my light up lightsaber. It's a
fair enough
Mace Windu purple lightsaber, and it just fucking rules.
Well, why'd you go with Mace Windu?
Oh, because he's a bad motherfucker.
So only 2 Jedi in the galaxy have a purple lightsaber. Mace Windu and Jedi Jared.
Yes.
Those are the only 2 people.
They say that the purple color is supposed to be like he kind of understands he's got like a dark side to him.
Oh, that's cool.
Like that's been a lot of some of the reading I've read about what each color is supposed to represent. Like white is supposed to be neutral.
He was very serious.
He was. And I would like to say I'm hoping that they'll magically bring him back.
Oh, no, they have to. As everyone's pointed out, all he did was get his arm cut off. Yes, he got shot by lightning and flew out the window.
But he's a fucking Jedi.
And he could have fallen onto a car.
Or
he could have figured a way to grab one of those cars with the other working arm and got saved. Of course.
I just want to see Mace Windu
I agree.
Kick some fucking ass.
Mace Windu should come back, and here's why. Samuel Jackson wants to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
He's been actively talking about it, saying, get me back into Star Wars. God damn it.
And he's fucking like 71, 72. He's the biggest, like, the coolest nerd ever. Like, he wanted to play Sho'nuff. They wanted to remake, him and the RZA wanted to remake, what was it, The Last Dragon? Mm-hmm. And he wanted to play the bad guy.
He's the best.
He's awesome.
Now listen.
Yes.
Star Wars cage fight.
Who do you got this week?
Admiral Ackbar versus Grand Moff Tarkin.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh. That's right. Ooh. You're on the button. You're first up.
Are we actually saying fight, or are they like...
Fight.
Like,
you're on the button. We lock them both inside an octagon.
I'm going to go with Admiral Ackbar.
Reasons?
I think he's a lot younger than Grand Moff Tarkin. I think Grand Moff Tarkin's probably used to being
in charge.
In charge. So he's kind of not used to being on the battlefield.
He's used to being behind the desk, telling people what to do. Yeah.
Whereas Admiral Akbar is part of the Rebel Alliance.
Right.
And you have to be able to do in like that ragtag group of guys. He's got to be like, when shit hits the fan and there's no one else, he's got to be the guy holding a blaster rifle. Right. Or getting in an X-Wing or a Y-Wing. He's got to know how to repair everything. Like, the Rebels have to be like multifaceted. They have to be able to, at a moment's notice, drop what they're doing and repair a Y-Wing. Okay. At the same time, they've got to, go fight.
All right, fine!
Well, there's no need to yell, David.
I'm Darth David.
Yes, Darth David.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Your answer was well thought out. It was well presented, and it's totally fucking wrong.
Okay.
Grand Moff Tarkin is a killer. Is as cold and sadistic as it gets.
I don't know.
Evidence is in episode 4.
Okay.
Where he tricks a girl, a 19-year-old princess, into giving him the location of her fucking base. And yet he still blows up her home planet. That's totally peaceful, by the way. He blows it up just for fun. Why? Because he can. Because he is one evil piece of shit. And this octagon's on the land. And quite frankly, I don't think Mon Calamari, which is the type of species that Akbar is, I don't think a calamari's good on the land. I foresee Tarkin strangling this motherfucker. Punching him once in the stomach, once in the throat. First of all, Akbar doesn't even say, his voice is worse than mine. He sounds like he's gargling. He sounds like he's got some crud in there. I don't know if he has a perpetual sickness.
It's probably how a Mon Calamari can breathe.
Well, listen.
All
Tarkin has to do is punch that stupid fucking squid throat of his. Guy's gonna drown to death. And then while he's drowning, Tarkin gets those fucking hands around his throat and chokes him. Chokes him out, kills him.
I'm gonna take...
Murders this piece of shit.
Yeah, but you know what? You say he's...
Let's go, Tarkin! Let's go, Tarkin!
You say he's sadistic, and yet he told Vader to stop choking that guy out. If he was as sadistic
Vader,
as you
enough!
say...
Release him! As you wish.
He would have allowed Vader to choke that guy out.
By the way, that guy is... Our next Yaddle Chattel, we have to come up with a Hall of Fame list of Imperials who are not Vader and Tarkin and just shitty fucking commanders and privates. That guy is awesome. That guy is one of my favorite guys in the history of Star Wars because I don't know how he got his own neck to twitch the way he did. But he must have had some sort of secret way because when Vader's choking him with his finger, his neck muscles actually fucking move. And it's, anyway, what the hell common sense is that? You're going to talk shit to Darth Vader? Don't try and frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. What does he say? Your devotion to that ancient religion hasn't given us the plans? I find your lack of faith disturbing. I love that guy so much.
Who, Vader or the...
the commander guy?
Commander guy.
Don't try to frighten with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Oh, big mistake, stupid! Hey, doofus! Don't shit talk the fucking most powerful man in the galaxy. And yes, over Palpatine in terms of power.
And I thought that was great was in Rogue One when he's at the end and he's just dispatching all of those rebel soldiers like a surgeon.
Oh, it was so good.
Great.
And have you noticed how people have put Luke's appearance
in the same thing.
Season finale of Mando and that? No, but it's awesome.
Because that's what people want.
That's what people want.
That's what they want.
Favreau and Filoni figured it out. You give the people what they want. And you give new characters, and you give some new storylines and some twists. But that's it. Anyway, that's it, Jared.
Okay, Darth David.
His name is Jedi Jared, henceforward. My name is Darth David. And you've been listening to the Galaxy's Greatest Star Wars podcast, Yaddle Chattel! And Jared,
Yes, David.
now you will be going away or something. We should probably give the Yell Channel audience a heads up.
Yes, I will be away.
So
Top secret Jedi
So
mission.
Yaddle Channel goes away for 2 weeks or so, or what's the deal here?
Something like that, unless we record another one now.
we're not recording another. Have you heard my voice?
Oh, it's shot. I don't know how you're going to do morning radio tomorrow.
I have to do morning radio, and then I have to do a Davey Max sports podcast on Monday night.
Okay.
It's too much.
Well, you should go rest your voice or
I know.
something.
Anyway, well, I gotta thank all the Yaddle Channel fans out there,
The Yad men and
the Yad men and Yad women, all the Yaddle heads.
and the Yaddle heads, yes.
Yaddle heads, we appreciate you. Make sure you're subscribing. We are Yaddle Channel is on iTunes. It's also on Stitcher. It's on Amazon Music, and we are putting these episodes audio only on YouTube at Eastside Dave TV. My name is Darth David. That's Jedi Jared.
Like and subscribe, and may the Force be with you.
Good night, everybody.